Olá, caros ouvintes. Welcome to another podcast. Portuguese with Carla, podcast 28. 28.
28.
Sim.
E tu és?
A Carla Sabala. E tu és?
Eu sou o Marlon Sabala.
Marlon. Mais uma vez, o marido.
Marido.
Sim.
Então, como é que estás, Carla? Diz-me lá.
Está tudo bem?
Estás?
Está. E contigo, como é que estás?
Estou bem, também.
Sim, ótimo.
Vai-se andando.
Ah, ok. Isso é que eu gosto de ouvir.
Here's an expression for you. Vai-se andando.
Yeah. It's going, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah.
Meaning, it's okay. We're all good.
Yeah, not bad.
Not
I
bad.
suppose things are going, so they can't be too bad.
So you're not stopping.
Excellent.
All right. So, Carla, tell us what's happening today in our podcast.
Yes, today we're off the plane. We are now in Pinhal Novo.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's our hometown. Well, that's where we grew up. Me,
Well, you did.
more so, yeah.
I didn't.
You joined me there.
I was
for
already grown up by the time.
That is, well, yeah. You were that height, weren't you?
I was.
Yes, but you were 14. Is that right?
No.
14, yes. That's when you went to the 9th grade.
Maybe I was.
14. And you were there till you were 19. There's a piece of information on Marlon
Yeah,
that you don't need to
completely
know.
useless.
Completely irrelevant. Oh, well. Okay, so
But we arrive finally in continental Portugal after our holiday
Yeah.
and a diversion in Faro.
exactly. So, yes, I think the very first line is you saying thank you to the taxi driver that has just dropped us off
Okay, yes.
at the door. And so we're just going to go through the scene, and we're dying to get some of bacalhau com natas, that cod with
Some
cream
of my
your
mum's
mother's.
card.
Yes.
All right, so then I'm ready when you are, Carla.
Okay, let's get the lines up.
And I'll put some background noise here.
Give us some sound effects. All right.
All right. Obrigadinho e saúde, que isso é que é importante.
Epá, mas que longa viagem.
Podes crer. A que horas é que saímos da Madeira?
Acho que foi às 10h20 que o avião levantou voo.
Vê lá, são agora 8 da noite. Quer dizer que levamos quase 10 horas para aqui chegar.
A sério, isso é bué.
Não admira que tenha a barriga a dar horas.
Pois é. Mas estás a sentir? Parece que já me cheira a bacalhau.
Vamos lá comer o rico bacalhau.
Okay,
Good.
right. Short and sweet, I think.
This is a bit short, but it's to compensate for last week's, which I think was quite a
little
bit longer than our usual one. Okay, good. I neglected to say,
Yes.
for those that perhaps are newer, don't know the URL convention, it's ptwithcar.com/podcast28 if you want the written dialogue, in case you're not on YouTube, in which case you will have the dialogue right in front of your eyes. So I'll say that again. Sorry,
Go
Carla.
ahead, you say it again.
Portuguese or PT with Carla /ptwithcarla.com. Don't even know our own website. ptwithcarla.com/podcast28. Sorry,
That
Carla,
is right.
you go ahead.
I was just going to say that some of the podcasts aren't available on YouTube if that's where you're listening to. So check the website. So in that case, ptwithcarla.com/blog, and you can find all the podcasts and transcripts there.
Yeah, or if you fancy writing the whole links, so the whole URL, it'll be ptwithcarla.com/podcast whatever. Don't put 34 because it doesn't exist yet. But podcast 2, podcast 3, 4, etc.
Yeah.
Good. So let's translate this for our folks.
Let us.
So I start by saying, thank you and good health, for that's what's important.
What a long journey.
You better believe it. What time did we leave Madeira?
I think it was at 10:20 that the plane took off.
You see, that's 8 hours. It's 8 o'clock now. It's now 8 o'clock. That means it took us 10 hours to get here.
Really? That's a lot.
No surprise then that tenho a barriga a dar horas. We'll talk about that later on.
That's right. But can you smell it? No, can you feel the smell? That doesn't make much sense in English. But
No.
it seems that I can. It seems to me that I can smell the cod already.
Well, let's go and eat that great cod.
Yeah, that rich cod.
Rich, literally.
Good cod.
We'll talk about that, I guess, later. Okay, good. So again, as you see, we have one of those not in a textbook moment later on in the podcast. I really like them. It helps to break down. I mean, they're not very long, these podcasts, but after pronunciation, it takes a while to go through all of the text and the pronunciation for all of it. So that helps to break it down. Mm-hmm. And I like the tune anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So start with me. Obrigadinho. So obrigado is probably the one you know. Obrigadinho is just a nice way, an alternative, cute way of saying it. E saúde and health. And I think we've mentioned this before. Health, saúde by itself simply means good health. So it always has, by itself, always has a positive connotation.
Yes.
Que isso é que é importante, for that is what's important.
Yeah. That is what is important.
Yes.
Bit of repetition there.
That is what is important.
Interesting. The word that means que and also means that. Next to you, isso.
Well, there you go.
There you are.
But that's very common. So if you say that, you will sound like a native.
Yeah.
So say something and then add to the end of your sentence, que isso é que é importante. But let's help you pronounce those words first. Importante. Importante. I'll say it a bit slower. Importante. Importante. And really, all these words, we're going to have to do them together because they all melt into one. Que isso é que é. I know it sounds like really well. We never say it like that. So let me tell you the way we actually say it. Que isso é que é.
Que isso.
Que isso é que é. I'll say it slowly. Que isso
é que é.
Que isso. Got it? Que isso é que é. So think E-K-E. É que é. Sort of. Okay, é que é. So let's try and put that together. Que isso é que é. Got it? And with the importante. Que isso é que é importante. There you go. So that's one expression you could use and people will think you were born there.
All right.
Sort of. Saúde. E saúde. Notice a little hat on top of the U, diacritic. Mm-hmm. That means you emphasize that particular syllable.
Saúde.
Saúde. Obrigadinho. Obrigadinho. Obrigadinho e saúde. Okay, so now looking at the text, the whole thing. Obrigadinho e saúde. Que isso é que é importante.
Yeah, just a little bit more natural on saúde. Go.
What? Saúde.
Obrigadinho e saúde.
Ah, right.
Not quite. Go on.
How did I? Okay.
How do we really say
Obrigadinho e saúde.
Saúde. Saudinha.
Saudinha. See, you could do the saudinha
as well, if you like.
Although it ended in A because saúde is feminine.
A saúde.
A saúde, not o saúde. That would be wrong. And people will know straight away you're a foreigner.
Okay. I'm sure some of you are not bothered at all. But some do like to have a nice accent in sound.
I know I make loads of mistakes still, but I always strive to go as...
To be the best.
Yeah, the best you can.
Yeah.
Right.
My line.
Carlinha.
Epa. So we like the expression. Epa.
Epa. I love
wow.
It.
Hey. I don't know. It could be...
Could be surprise, good or bad.
Yeah. The good people from Lisbon like to use that a lot. Epa.
Yeah.
Epa. 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 It's just always there at the start of that conversation.
Really,
yeah.
But normally there's some enthusiasm when you're saying that.
Yeah. But you could be sort of a bit annoyed at something. Epa.
Yeah, but it could be positive.
Leave me alone. That is true. Yeah. Okay, so in this case, not so positive.
Also an ice cream.
Epa.
Epa.
Sim.
Is that an ice cream in other countries?
Epa. I don't know about that.
It's a waltz. Waltz.
Yeah, W-A.
What's the epá?
I think.
Is the epá the one with the chewing
The
gum?
white with chewing gum at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think they have the chewing gum anymore, do they? Because kids would swallow that.
Oh, maybe some sort of sweet but again, it doesn't matter.
Epá.
So let me do my line. Epá, mas que longa viagem. But what a long journey or trip. Mas que longa. Mas que longa. Mas que longa viagem. Mas que longa viagem. Viagem. Once again. Epá, mas que longa viagem. Marlon?
Okay, so podes crer, that's if you haven't heard the podcast where we talk at length about this expression, then you should. I can tell them in a section actually what podcast that was. But podes crer simply means, or literally means you can believe. And that's sort of what it means. But you're vehemently agreeing with a person.
Right. Believe me.
Yeah.
Can be sure.
What podcast was that, Carla?
That was podcast 18.
18. So if you want to go back to that. Okay. Podes crer. Podes crer. Crer.
Acreditar.
Acreditar comes from the meaning, or the idea of belief. So you have crença, which is also belief. Mm-hmm. Mostly, you think of crença, you think of religious belief, but it's not just for that. Podes crer. And then I say, a que horas é que saímos da Madeira? At what time or hour, what hours, if you want to take it really literal, but at what time did we leave Madeira? There's the que again. Is that we left Madeira? I think that's the way we construct the sentence.
Que after horas is completely unnecessary, but
we need to put it
we
there.
just love it. No, we could say a que horas saímos da Madeira, but we like to say a que horas é que saímos da Madeira.
I say you couldn't just put a que horas que saímos.
No, a que horas saímos da Madeira. The que is there.
Redundant, but we love it. A que horas é que saímos da Madeira? So let's do that. Madeira. Madeira.
Not Madeira.
Madeira. No.
Madeira.
Madeira, the same word for, not Madeira cake, even though that's true. I don't know if there's a connection there, probably not. Wood.
Yes.
Which is thought, I might have told this story in the podcast. But apparently there's, that's the legend. When the boats arrived in Madeira for the first time, the place was basically trees. Everything grows in Madeira, and that's true. Every plant imaginable will grow down there.
Beautiful place.
I'm exaggerating here, but it's the Garden of the Atlantic. That's what they call it for a reason, because everything grows. It's amazing.
What a beautiful nickname, isn't it?
Yeah. It's it has an amazing sort of weather conditions there all through the year. And so the idea is that they arrived in Madeira and they couldn't get through because it was so there was so much foliage, so much growth that they had to set it on fire. And so they let Madeira on fire, and the legend says that they came back after a few months or whatever it was, and it was still on fire. And eventually they came back and it was good. So that's what they called it, Madeira. Madeira, wood. So, saímos da Madeira. Saímos da Madeira comes from the verb sair, and it's for us, me and Carla, and in the past. Saímos da Madeira. É que saímos da Madeira. É que saímos da Madeira. A que horas? A que horas? There's a trick here, really, because if you look at the word Q-U-E, and look at the H, which is the first letter of the word horas, which we never read the H at the beginning of the words, you ignore the H, you connect the E to the O, and it becomes a que horas. Okay? So the H is, imagine that it's not there. In fact, I don't know why we still even put the H there.
Might change one day. Might change.
Probably will. A que horas, and the whole thing then, a que horas é que saímos de Madeira? All right, Carla.
Okay. I think that it was at 20 past 10 or 10:20 that the plane took flight, took off.
Took off, yeah.
Acho que foi. I think it was. Acho que foi. Acho que foi. Às 10:20. 10:20. And because of that E, the Z from dash is going to sound like a real Z, really. Às 10:20. Acho que foi às 10:20 que o avião, nasal sound, that AO with a swiggle over the A, avião. Acho que foi às 10:20 que o avião levantou voo. Acho que foi às 10:20 que o avião levantou voo. Okay?
Levantou voo. Another word for levantar voo, for took off. Descolagem.
Ah, sim. Descolou.
Which, funnily enough, means to...
Unglued.
Unglue. Because colar is glue, descolar is unglue. So descolagem, another word for take off. All right. Vê lá. São agora 8 da noite. Quer dizer que levamos quase 10 horas para aqui chegar. Vê lá. Look there, although that's not what it means really. Vê lá is more... Again, it's one of those expressions that is like, a feeling rather than meaning something.
Yeah, it was about 8 o'clock at night. Oh, it is now 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, vê lá. It's like, sort of... come on, look at this, I guess. Although you're not looking anywhere at all. São agora 8 da noite. 8 of night. Of the night, I guess. Noite. Noite. 8 da noite. 8 da noite. São agora 8 da noite. Vê lá. So again, this is one of those, I think you could use it as an element of surprise, maybe. Can you? Vê lá.
Vê lá, yeah.
Or you come to realize that something is, surprise.
You're just drawing somebody's attention to something, either good or bad, I suppose.
Yeah. In the second half, quer dizer que levamos quase 10 horas. That means we took almost 10 hours para aqui chegar, to here arrive. Aqui chegar. Aqui chegar. 10 horas. 10 horas. 10 horas para... And a bit longer now. 10 horas para aqui chegar. Levamos. Levamos quase. Levamos quase 10 horas. Bit longer. Levamos quase 10 horas para aqui chegar. quer dizer que that means that, even though dizer is what's the most accurate translation of dizer? To say?
To say, yeah.
To say. So it's interesting that we say
literal, yeah.
to say that, but in English you would never say that, would you? That means that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Quer dizer que levamos. Yeah.
In other words,
To say that we took. Yeah. That wants to say that we took. Literally wants to say, quer dizer.
yes.
But what we really mean is that means.
So let's do the whole thing from vê lá até chegar. If you follow in the text, you can say it along with me, okay? 3, 2, 1. Vê lá. São agora 8 da noite. Quer dizer que levamos quase 10 horas para aqui chegar. All right.
Okay. A sério? Seriously? Really? Neither. A sério? Isso é bué. That is a lot. Isso é bué. Bué, bit of slang for you. Bué, and my father used to say that is not Portuguese slang, but actually Angolan slang, which is a country that speaks Portuguese because it was once a Portuguese colony. And he grew up in Angola, as well as my mum, but my mum also was born there. And if my father says so, I must take his word for it. So, isso é bué.
But he said bué, right?
Slightly different sound on the E, yeah, because of the Angolan accent. Bué.
When we were growing up, our generation, this was very common, this word bué, amongst the younger
bué.
crowd. Given that during the war, the Angolan Civil War, a lot of people from Angola came into Portugal. And so this...
Os retornados, a lot of the Portuguese who moved there.
Yeah, they also came back.
Yeah.
So this word, amongst others, was introduced. And in our generation, it was still, for us, it was cool. But for my mum, she was, no, that's weird. It wasn't very common for older people, like our parents, to say it. Today, very common. And it's becoming more. I mean, the older generation still probably won't use it.
You think the young
much.
Ones do now?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
we might be out of date with the slang
I
of
hear
the
it a lot every time. It's become part of the
vocabulary.
vernacular.
I think it's actually in a dictionary, isn't it?
It is now, yeah. So bué simply means...
Muito. A lot. Very much.
Have you finished that
Isso é bué. Yeah.
Okay, good. And I say, não admira que tenha a barriga a dar horas. Não admira.
It doesn't admire me. It doesn't surprise me.
Admire, but it's surprised, isn't it? Não admira, it doesn't surprise me that tenha barriga a dar horas. Are you ready, Carla?
I am now.
Text not in a textbook moment.
Sure.
All right. Ter a barriga a dar horas. Literal meaning.
Having the belly giving time.
The colloquial meaning, Carla.
Something one would say after spending too long without eating.
Equivalent expression in English.
I'm starving.
And another one.
My stomach is growling.
So let's now put it in context, please.
It's gone lunchtime and you didn't even have breakfast. Deves ter a barriga a dar horas. Great.
So, when your belly is telling you the time, that's when you're hungry.
It's hungry. Mm-hmm.
And when we were preparing this, you've thought of another expression that means the same.
O estômago colado às costas, ou a barriga colada às costas. I think it's stomach.
Estômago, yeah.
The stomach glued to your back.
Yeah. Tenho o estômago colado às costas. I have the stomach glued to
Sucking in.
the back. So let's say that again. Não admira que tenha a barriga a dar horas. Actually, let's do a bit slow. Dar horas. Barriga a dar horas. But actually, we wouldn't say that. The A would be lost. Barriga a dar horas.
Barriga.
Barriga a dar horas. Mm-hmm. Que tenha a barriga a dar horas. the whole thing. Não admira que tenha a barriga a dar horas. All right.
Okay. Pois é. One of those. Pois é. But I suppose I'm just agreeing with you. Right. Mas estás a sentir cheiro, cheirinho, smell. Are you feeling smell? Basically, are you able to smell this? Parece que já me cheira a bacalhau. It seems that already it smells to me the cod. Yes, that's the literal translation for you. So it seems I can already smell the cod. That's really what I'm trying to say there. Parece que já me cheira a bacalhau. Pois é. Mas estás a sentir. Mas estás. I would even go as far as dropping the ES from the estás.
Yes, I think
Mas estás. Mas estás a sentir. And change that last S into a Z when I pronounce it. Because again, the S from estás, at the end of estás, is in between the two A's, the A before it and the A after it. Even though it's two different words, it still affects the sound of the S. Mas estás a sentir. Parece que já me cheira. You don't have to copy that. It'd be funny if actually some of you have. Okay. Parece que já me cheira. Parece que já. Parece que já me cheira. Me cheira a bacalhau. Again, practice with us. Bacalhau. Remember that English word? Lhe. Might help. Lhe. Bacalhau. Helped somebody, didn't you? You made somebody do that.
Yeah,
and
just the other day.
they were able to pronounce it correctly. So
Somebody
hopefully
who's
it'll help
never
you.
Delved into Portuguese.
That's it.
Okay, so that's me. Final line here. I say, vamos lá comer o rico bacalhau. Bacalhau. Comer o rico. So, rich.
Yes.
O rico bacalhau. It's nothing to do with
Being rich, but
for
just
the
good.
card being
isn't it?
financially
Meu
well
rico
off.
filho, my good son, my great son. I don't know, just
Yeah, it's just good.
my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, meu rico homem, my man. And, you know, it means you're proud of the person, I suppose, or it's a good thing. Or
But it's slightly humorous as well, isn't it? You wouldn't use it in serious situations, would you? I associate it with a bit of a light-hearted
yeah,
sort of
I
comment.
suppose.
But yeah, it means rich, you know, if you look it up in a dictionary.
Literally, yeah.
Okay. O rico. O rico bacalhau. I'm exaggerating the bacalhau. Bacalhau. Vamos lá comer. Lá means literally there, but it does not mean there here. Lá, in this context, is a feeling word. It means let us go then.
Eat.
Then, yeah, because vamos, let's go. Lá means, it's difficult to explain again because it's you're putting across a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go then.
I think that's good, yeah.
Let's go then. Vamos lá comer. Vamos lá comer. Vamos lá comer o rico bacalhau.
That's it.
That is it, Carla.
This is the scene for podcast 28.
I thought this was going to be a really short podcast, but it
I know,
turned
but
out
we
to
always
be
get
just
carried
average.
away, don't we? But it's still fairly short, isn't it? 30 minutes.
Tell me, Carla,
Yes.
why do we have these bags in front of us here?
Oh, the hand luggages, because we are traveling to Portugal.
And let me ask you,
Portugal.
why are we traveling to Portugal, Carla?
Well, to me, the main reason is because we were going to a wedding dinner party.
Yes.
But to you is for work, which I'm obviously happy to go for. But that was not the reason why we actually first bought the...
Well, the date just seems to
tickets.
coincide. But what are you going to do in Portugal? Well,
put some videos together for you. So videos to teach you Portuguese.
So we're going to do some light-hearted videos and put them out for free. But we're also working on something a little special. We can't really tell you anything about it now because there's nothing really concrete.
No. So let's just wait. Little surprise.
Might take a while. Anyway, yes.
Yeah. Right. Jingle. Or do you want me to say something
I don't know.
else
Do you want to say anything else?
I'm good.
Yeah. Thanks for all your comments. They keep coming through and it's really appreciated.
Yeah.
We never say this, but subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so, because you will get all these podcasts for free delivered, or at least YouTube will alert you that there's a new lesson.
Yes.
Or if you prefer, as most of you do, I think, is to subscribe to the podcast on a podcatcher. So whatever you use, Android, Windows Phone, probably not many of you do that. And iPhone, of course. Any podcast app will be able to search. You'll be able to search for Portuguese with Carla and find it, and then subscribe.
Muito bem. Very well. And that's us.
Yes.
Ciao. Ciao, ciao.
Deu.
Bye, guys.